We have extra roosters. We have a lot of extra roosters. Like probably half of our flock is roosters at this point, honestly. Maybe a little bit less than that. The plan was to isolate them and one by one make them cat food because we didn't want to feed them until they got full grown, and you know, just regular roosters, they aren't that tasty. So that was the plan until this morning when I realized I can put these suckers to work. My plan is to isolate them over certain sections of the garden and just kind of rotate these guys around. Then I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, and I was like, well, cattle panels, but the openings in the cattle panels are too big. And then I realized that we have some extra electric netting that we're not using. We purchased it for the pigs and we don't use it. However, it's also too big. I don't even think if I actually turned on the power to it, I don't think that probably wouldn't keep them in. Then I realized I have poultry netting that's holding these ducks in, and these ducks have zero motivation to get out. Can you see how low those fences are? I don't think you can, but here's a really good idea. There it is. That is less than a foot high. And they stay in. So I'm gonna take this thing down, replace it with the larger hold fencing that we have, and then I'm gonna use this to fence in my roosters. Look who's coming to greet us. The little piggies. Get a shot of the little ones. They're not that cute. These ladies are still completely co-parenting, and everything seems totally good. Haven't lost a single piglet since that one that we lost a while ago. It was at least a week ago. So we still have 10. The boar is not happy about being isolated from them, I'll tell you what. Time for bed, come on. They don't want to come outside, so I'm just gonna leave them locked up for the rest of the day. I was hoping to be able to test them and see if they'll stay inside of this, because it's a much larger grid on the openings, so you know, there's a fair chance that they can definitely get through, but it's hit or miss whether they'll try, because they really don't seem to care about getting out. Even when the fence is down, they still don't go over it. It's not electrified. The other one wasn't either. So any user, let's go see if we can get this other one set up. This one is much more challenging. We bought this when we lived in Washington. It does not have the ones where you can hammer it in, which is very important in these parts because we have pretty much clay and rock, and that's about it. So it's really hard sometimes to find a spot where you need to put it down. You gotta move it all around and just kind of futz with it. So we'll see. The boar is currently eating part of the fence. He really wants in. This is really zoomed in. This is what I call Squashlandia. The first year we were here, hubby put in, there's like, you can't even see them, it's so overgrown. There's like little winding beds, so to speak, and hubby had planted potatoes the first year we lived here. We moved here like the beginning of June, so, you know, we didn't get a whole lot grown that year. And the year after, which was last summer, I grew squash in here. It got destroyed by squash bugs. It got just destroyed by weeds. It got destroyed by everything. So I'm going to fence in this area, let the roosters go to town, pick out all the little bug eggs and the weeds and just everything. Hopefully within like a month, they will have this thing completely gutted. I can just tarp it for a month or so, let the heat bake off and get rid of all the excess nitrogen that the chickens might have left behind. And then when squash season actually comes, we should be able to plant in here just fine. Even in the areas that aren't actually have soil put on top of there, I'm hoping they can kind of dig things up enough to make it so that I can plant wherever I want in here. So I got the fence up. So now I just have to wait probably a couple of days. I'm not sure if, so we have a couple of old coops that the previous owners had like rigged up, and they had some, I'm sure it made sense to them. It made no sense to us when we moved here, but it was just like it was like a Winchester Mansion style chicken coop. It was weird. And this piece is left over. The roof is right there. I could put it back on. However, it's pretty darn small, and I would like to put probably 10 roosters in there. I don't think that would be big enough, and it would not be big enough. So my thinking is the A-frame that we had originally fixed up for a secondary, like a pig shelter, that guy there, they don't use it. All they use it for is to rub their backs on to scratch, and they keep moving it all over. It's pressing up against the fence. We need to get that thing out of there. But the problem with that is hubby hurt his back. He has been in, hopefully you can hear me. He has been trying to recover and heal it for the last like week or so. And I think something like that would just set his recovery back pretty good amount. You just rub on everything. You have giant trees in there. Can't you scratch on the trees? Use the tree. Silly pig. Since we couldn't get the ducks to actually get out of their pen yesterday, we're gonna try it again today. I've seen no reason why it wouldn't work today. I think that my time for bed training works very well. And when I said that, they were just ready for bed. So let's get to it. Little piggies and piglets are out. Normally I like to take care of the pigs before I take care of the ducks, but I want to be out here for as long, it's really cold, so I don't want to stay out here longer than I have to, but I want to stay out here long enough to kind of get an idea if they're going to push the boundaries of the fence. I really don't expect them to, but we'll find out. It's not electrified. They're just lazy and they're not curious to explore anywhere. So far, so good. One thing that I was a little bit nervous about, this last little hoop, this is a series of, well, it was a series of 5 hoops made out of cattle panels. The last hoop there, and part of the second to the last hoop, was destroyed by logging trucks by the owners who we bought it from, and they really like going in there. Unfortunately, I could not enclose that or I could not extend it beyond there because it goes through to the other side. So if they go into that hoop, the netting was just not long enough to be able to enclose the backside as well. So I had to unfortunately block that area off. Hopefully they don't try too hard to get through there. But for now, we're gonna go catch us some roosters. Well, we're gonna cut off the hose first. I can't remember if I told you guys yesterday. I think I did, but Robert hurt his back and it is very slow to heal. My ultimate goal is to get that thing out of there. Cannot do that by myself because the door is not wide enough, so we have to lift it over the gate and over the barbed wire. So Robert suggested this. It's just a, you know, like a dog cage. So I'm going to transport them in it if I can catch them. I am not the world's best chicken catcher, so we're gonna see what we can do. So we're gonna transport them in this cage and then get them over to the area, however many of them I am able to catch, and then I will wrap it with hardware cloth or chicken wire, depending on what I have available. Hardware cloth would be better because it would be more predator proof. I need 2 hands for this. Unfortunately, a tree branch fell on this part. So I'm scared to take off the sidewalls. This would be easier if I took off the sidewalls, but they're pretty janky. So I don't want to risk the possibility of not being able to put the walls back on. So we're just gonna leave them where they are, even though it'll be more difficult. Hopefully that'll hold them in. Homestead ingenuity. Maybe. Believe it or not, I do have a plan. No idea if it'll work. But I'm basically gonna open up the chicken door over there, the little one. And I'm just gonna stand by it and try and catch the ones that I want to move. And then I'll just close the door when my hands get full. They know something's up. You're safe. He's one of my breeders. Missed him. He's gonna suck at this. This has worked before. Why isn't it working this time? I guess we're just gonna have to catch them tonight. Once they nest up. I give up. Not a single one of them is interested in coming outside. We got scouts out here, and they're letting them know it's not safe. So, I'm just gonna come back this evening when I'm ready to lock them up and catch them. They're super easy to catch at night, but the problem is that I have to come out here at night. I'm a total pansy, and I don't like coming out inside in the dark. So I'll just have to catch them when it's almost dark. And that way, I can be a wimp about it. Oh, but that means I should probably feel like I should wrap that thing today. See, and now they're going back inside. They did not like that. Carry this guy over, find some sort of covering for it. And of course, we'll wrap it in a tarp too. Just the metal is to keep any raccoon hands out. Well, that didn't work. So I'm ready to wrap this guy. My hopes and dreams have been dashed. A couple of the ducks are out in the spot that I was telling you that they enjoy. But the nice part about having the flock animals like ducks is that they like to be close to everybody else, so they'll probably just go in and out of that thing. Maybe I will find the second netting that we have of that variety, connect it up and kind of just encircle. It's right there. You can kind of just encircle the whole thing so they can go all the way around, but that's going to take a whole different level of work. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. Or maybe it will. Who knows? I can surprise and all of a sudden it's done. I couldn't find my regular good old tin snips, so we're using the drill powered one. It's completely unnecessary for this level of work, but it still makes it a lot easier and I don't cut my hands as much. So let's do this. little more challenging than I expected, but got it done. The only really challenging part was working on the door part, because I had to like cut the pieces and I had to kind of edge around it, because for those of you who don't deal with raccoons, they can get their little paws through any little crack and any gap in here, even if they can't actually like eat it. Raccoons kill for sport. They are awful animals. I hate raccoons. So they'll just reach in and they'll just claw them. So you just got to make sure everything is nice and snug. I just picked a random spot. I'm gonna move it around a lot, probably every other day or something like that. Whenever I feel like it, I'll move it around just to make sure that each of the spots kind of get a little bit of extra fertilization, and so that they can still dig up underneath it. If I leave it in the same spot, it's not very likely that they'll dig under it. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna go inside, and then tonight we'll come back and catch us some chickens. For those of you who watch both my channel and my sister's channel, you know that she, for Fermented February, made a hot sauce of it's a Hawaiian red pepper. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go and watch the taste test. It's hilarious. She sent it to us because she did not enjoy it. It was far too hot for her, and she wanted to see what we thought of it. So
she wanted to see how we thought.
Yes. So I've been issued a challenge.
Just put it in there,
and we shall accept.
See what it is.
She only did a drop, so we're just gonna do a drop.
A drop?
So we can see if she's a pansy.
Well, no, we got more tolerance, right?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Said it's a slow burn. So we'll see. It's got some heat to it. Okay. Gotta wait it out, because hers it snuck up on the back end. I feel like the sriracha that I made was hotter.
It's like medium heat.
Yeah.
It's not mild and it's not hot, but it's just medium.
Yeah.
Yes, medium. The heat's gone already.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you're such a wuss. One more?
A little bit. I mean, it's like Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, it's like
That's
not
good.
a big deal.
Yeah. Tastes good though. Thanks, Tiffany.
Yep. We shall enjoy this.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Add this on to different things. Put this in my ramen or something.
Ooh, yeah. It's got a really good flavor. It's got a really big, like a broad depth of flavor, I guess you could call it. But it's definitely not like crazy hot by any means.
Yeah, it's a good mild flavor.
I think the verdict is in, Tiffany.
Yeah.
You don't have any heat
Yeah.
tolerance.
It just slowly over time, get used to mild, get used to medium, then try the different ones in between medium and hot. Because the hot, it varies, so just go slowly.
Yeah, that's
No
what
big deal.
I did.
Yes.
When I
Yeah.
first met him, I had zero heat tolerance whatsoever.
Nah.
None. Like chili was hot for me. And then he was really into it. And then I discovered how much it can help with my digestive issues that I have. And so I kind of just went after it and just increased my heat tolerance. And I actually have a higher heat tolerance than he does now. Not by a lot, but like I can handle things a little bit hotter than he can. I don't know if he'll admit it, but it's true.
I don't know. But she can handle it pretty good.
Yeah. And I used to literally zero, none, nada. Like mild chili powder was hot for me. Black pepper was hot for me. Not really. I wasn't that bad, but it was pretty close to it. So at any rate, he needs to go to work and I need to clean stuff up. And then I am going to head outside here in a little bit, a couple hours, and catch me some roosters. Thank you. It looks like a couple of them are still out. So let's feed the pig. Go time. I hate catching chickens. I hate catching roosters even more. I'm just a big old pansy and I'm a wimp. But I'm gonna give it my best. Let me rephrase that. I'm gonna do the best my anxiety will allow me to do. Hopefully I can catch at least a few of them. Looks like one of the ones that I want to catch is out. He hopped the fence, and so we got the scissors. I'm gonna clip their wings. But he might have escaped his fate for tonight. We'll see. I don't think you'll be able to see much of anything. I missed.
2 hours later.
I just want to move you to new homes. I don't want to kill you. I gotta see if I can round these guys up. Officially chicken out. So we're gonna have to wait until there's a night where Robert's home late at night, because I don't come out here at night in the dark. And that's the best time really to catch chickens, is in the dark. They're asleep, they're easy, they're on their perch, you can just go up there and snatch them. Unfortunately, I'm not willing to come out here late enough to where it's considered dark. So, sorry. It's gonna be the next video.